Whitney Purvis, once a familiar face on MTV's 16 and Pregnant, is now at the center of a troubling and tragic story that has captured national attention. Known for her appearance on the reality TV show's inaugural season in 2009, Purvis is facing serious legal repercussions following her arrest for involuntary manslaughter in connection with a fatal drug overdose. In an unexpected development, federal authorities have also stepped in. Purvis is currently under investigation by the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, for her alleged role in the distribution of the deadly substances that led to the incident. At just 33 years old, Purvis's life has taken a dark and dramatic turn. The charges stem from the February 2025 overdose death of 37-year-old John Mark Harris in Floyd County, Georgia. According to police reports, Purvis allegedly supplied Harris with a combination of fentanyl and xylazine, a highly dangerous mixture known on the streets as tranq dope. Xylazine, a veterinary tranquilizer not approved for human use, has increasingly been turning up in street drugs across the United States, often combined with fentanyl to increase potency. The result, however, is often fatal. The toxic cocktail found in Harris's system was confirmed to be the direct cause of death. Authorities allege that Purvis provided the drugs to Harris, though there's no indication she intended harm. Nonetheless, under Georgia law, such actions can be prosecuted under involuntary manslaughter statutes if death results from reckless or negligent behavior. The DEA's involvement signals that Purvis's actions may have crossed the line from local criminality into federal drug trafficking territory. A spokesperson from the DEA confirmed that the agency's Atlanta division is actively participating in the case, citing the dangerous rise of synthetic opioid-related deaths as a motivating factor for their intervention. This arrest comes just weeks after another devastating personal blow to Purvis. On June 2, 2025, she publicly announced the sudden and tragic death of her eldest son, Weston Gosa Jr., at just 16 years old. Weston had appeared with her on 16 and Pregnant, and his passing sent shockwaves through both her personal life and among fans of the show. Initially, Purvis stated that Weston had been battling several serious health conditions, including diabetes and Addison's disease, as well as a rare genetic disorder called alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. She took to social media to express her grief, stating that her son's death was preventable and placing blame on his father, Weston Gosa Sr., for allegedly failing to get him adequate medical care. This claim was quickly contested. Gosa Sr., who had custody of Weston at the time of his death, countered that Purvis had been absent for much of their son's life and had failed to contribute financially or emotionally. He said that she had not attended their son's funeral, though Purvis maintained she had been excluded by his family. The public back and forth only heightened the media attention on Purvis, painting a picture of ongoing conflict and dysfunction in her personal life. As troubling as the current charges are, this is not the first time Purvis has faced legal trouble. Over the years, she's been involved in several incidents that have brought her into contact with the law. In 2012, she was arrested for allegedly shoplifting a pregnancy test from a Walmart. That incident was widely publicized and seemed to mark the beginning of a pattern of legal issues, including contempt of court for unpaid child support, assault accusations, and other domestic disputes. In various online communities and forums, users have documented a pattern of instability in Purvis's post-MTV life, including allegations of erratic behavior, financial irresponsibility, and strained relationships with the fathers of her children. One particularly concerning aspect of the current case is the suggestion that Purvis may have been involved in a broader pattern of drug distribution. The DEA's decision to become involved typically indicates suspicion that the accused may be part of a larger operation or responsible for multiple distributions. It's not yet clear whether this is the case for Purvis, but her arrest was executed by a joint task force of local and federal agents, and she now faces not only involuntary manslaughter charges but also counts of distributing controlled substances and using a communication device to facilitate a drug-related felony. These are not minor offenses, and if convicted, they could carry significant prison time. For those who followed her early days on 16 and Pregnant, the transformation in Purvis's life is striking and deeply sad. She was originally portrayed as a struggling teenager trying to navigate motherhood without much support. She lived in Georgia with her mother, who had her own challenges with the law, and her relationship with Weston Gosa Sr. was already tumultuous at the time. Her episode highlighted the socio-economic and emotional struggles of teen parenthood, a raw and honest portrayal that made the show so popular. But now, more than a decade later, it appears that the cycle of instability has only deepened. In the wake of these charges, questions remain about the custody and well-being of Purvis's surviving children. She had at least 2 younger children, one born in 2014 and another in 2023, and it is unknown who currently has custody or whether Child Protective Services are involved. Her ability to parent moving forward will likely be seriously impacted by the criminal charges she now faces. What's particularly tragic is that both the overdose victim, John Mark Harris, and Purvis herself had previously expressed grief online about personal losses. In March 2025, a month after his death, Purvis commented on Harris's online obituary, writing that she had just learned about his passing and regretted missing the memorial. This message now carries a far more ominous tone in light of the charges against her. Authorities continue to warn the public about the dangers of fentanyl and xylazine, especially when used together. The combination has been increasingly present in overdose deaths across the U.S., and public health officials have been raising alarms about its devastating effects. Fentanyl is already 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine, and when combined with xylazine, the effects are even more unpredictable and difficult to reverse with naloxone, the standard overdose treatment. The upcoming weeks will be crucial for Purvis. As the investigation unfolds, more details will likely emerge about the nature of her involvement in the overdose, her connection to any possible drug networks, and the legal strategies her defense may employ. Given the high-profile nature of her case, thanks to her past reality TV fame, there's likely to be continued media scrutiny. Meanwhile, her future hangs in the balance, as she deals with not only the consequences of the law but also the unimaginable grief of losing a child. For now, Purvis remains in custody in Floyd County, Georgia. No bond has been set, and her court dates have yet to be made public. Federal prosecutors have not confirmed whether they plan to file additional charges, but with the DEA's active involvement, it's a strong possibility. The story of Whitney Purvis has become far more than a footnote in reality TV history. It is now a sobering example of how addiction, personal tragedy, and unresolved trauma can intersect in the most devastating ways.